What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, and Madden 17 season is just around the corner. No official date has been announced yet, but you can assume that it will be near the end of August, as it has been for the last couple of years. So what is the point of today's video? Well, today's video is talking about my favorite mode, which is franchise mode. I know the popularity of Ultimate Team has risen a lot during the last 3 years or so, but that is a movement for a YouTuber that is much bigger than me to capitalize on. It takes a lot of money to do a lot of Ultimate Team videos. I'm really contemplating maybe doing a series where I spend no money. I mean, in years past, I've probably racked up around $200-300 total in buying packs and stuff like that. But it's just very, very difficult. When you get bigger YouTubers, they can simply make a pack opening video, make at least their money back that they spent in that video, maybe even more. So I mean, it's really just a machine that they got going on there. So I might try to be one of the bigger guys on YouTube to do like a no money. Let's see how good my team can get. Maybe that will give me more motivation to keep playing with it. But outside of that, I love to play franchise mode. I love to control the Eagles, and in some aspects take control of maybe lesser known teams. I might do a thing next year actually where I'll get you guys to pick a team. A lot of you guys have been actually leaving comments saying play fantasy connected franchise where I do a fantasy draft. That could definitely be an option. Another thing, I may look at actually making a league with you guys. If that was something you guys would be interested in. Only on Xbox One, unfortunately. I don't have a PlayStation 4. But I would be maybe getting the subs, some of my subs, to get control of an online connected franchise. I think that could also be pretty fun to do. But that is all down the road. Today's video is talking about the top 10 things I want to see in franchise mode in Madden 17. Going to number 1, I get editable draft classes. This has been a big thing for me for multiple years. It's such... You know, they strive to make the franchise mode as realistic as possible. They kind of brought back the combine in some aspects. Last season, you have, all the, I can move them. And in previous years, you've had, I can adjust the prices of hot dogs and shit like that and try to make more money, the financial side of things. But no matter how much realism you try to add to the draft, you lose that at the end of Season 1 because your draft class is just, look, I'm drafting Bobby Baker, a 6'9" Asian man who plays quarterback with 98 speed from fucking Yale or something stupid like that. Like you lose your realism right there. It's not so far-fetched to think what was the old where we could make custom draft classes was better. I mean, you still only got probably 3-4 years, depending on how in-depth you want to go with it, of draft classes. But that was at least something. That was at least, a full 240 plus play. Well, we'll say maybe not 240. We'll say 150 plus player for 4 years. So what is that? That's almost 500 new players that are real that you can see in college football that are implemented in your franchise mode. I think this is a massive, massive thing that they need to bring back because it adds just so much more fun, realism, and just different aspects to the franchise mode that is very, very lacking. Just playing with fake players like that. That's not my thing. I really, really hope they do this because this is something the community would do. You wouldn't have to worry about licensing or anything like that. The community would go ahead and make custom draft classes that would be on fucking point. Be it Operation Sports or someone else on YouTube, even me. I'd fucking do that if I had to. So that is my biggest thing. That's why I'm stressing it the most in this video here. Let me know what you guys think. I know I can't be the only one. And if it gets announced that it's not in this year's draft class, I'm going to fucking wage a war against this shit. I'm going to have a lot of videos trying to get the attention saying, why? Explain to me why, Moving on, number 2, I have removed the complex progression system. There was way too many bugs. I had to basically go on Operation Sports, and they made a way that you had to basically, it took half hour to set up a franchise mode where you had to make basically user all the teams, but only really play with like your one team, and that was like a workaround and a couple other different settings so that the progression system wouldn't be horrendous. Because they're like offensive linemen, if you had one bad year, you'd fall from like a 96 down to a 65 and all that stuff. Just remove that. Have it on a simpler grade. Have it more based around your age and get it on the decline. And if you're a younger player, you're gonna get a significant growth in your stats, something like that. I mean, I would take a much simpler system with more realistic results than having something super fucking complex that's really, really buggy and affects us. So I mean, there's like, what was it? It was until maybe January that we got all the updates necessary to make franchise mode somewhat playable. So that was very bad. Number 3, something quick, is bring back coordinators. I like offense and defensive coaches rather than just having a head coach that has a set offense and set defense. I like being able to fire guys. I like being able to get players that recently retired and bring them on the coaching staff. I remember like in old Mads, you could bring on Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and stuff like that as DCs, and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady's OCs. I think that was very fun. Something, fresh, added something that wouldn't take a whole lot. I mean, it's been done before. Number 4 would be add practice squad. Being able to send players, let them grow throughout the year, being able to call them up, call them down kind of thing. So it makes that those extra tough roster cuts a little bit easier, because you basically, what is the roster size, 10? I believe practice squad is 10. So like and it's more development, more in depth for your franchise mode. Another, something very, very simple that could be done to make it funner. Number 5 would be change player positions mid-season. Based on injury, I might want to move a corner to safety, or if I want to decide to use fullback, I might take my last string linebacker and convert him to a fullback because he was kind of fast, but that was all he had. Just like that. I hate not being able to change positions. They do give you the option at the beginning of the preseason, I believe, or the beginning of the offseason, to change what your player's position is. But I want to be able to do that mid-season, be able to cope with injuries and stuff like that officially, not just moving my corner to a safety on the depth chart. I want to be able to, maybe make that swap permanent. Number 6 would be smarter computer AI off the field. For me, after the end of the first year, there's way too many teams cutting their first-round picks, just because obviously they might, maybe because it's bad AI drafting, but either or, you're not going to draft, realistically, your first 4 rounds, maybe first 5 rounds, are safe pretty much to make the team in some regard. So, there's too much AI cutting your first round picks that, for me, I think that'd be something that you can easily tweak. Number 7 is more individual weekly training. I'd like to see position-specific drills that can get XP, and if you, fucking ball out and get really, really good score or whatever, however, your weekly progression, if you get in the target, I guess, your target goals for every single week. You should see immediate stat increases on some occasions. Obviously, you wouldn't want it every week, but for example, if you're doing a route running drill, if you do it really good right now, as it stands, you get like 400 or 500 XP. I'm like, oh, hey, that's actually pretty good. I mean, maybe less than that. You get like 200 to 300 XP. But what if maybe if you do that for 2 weeks in a row, 1 week you get a +1 route running automatically. I think adding something more to the weekly training to help you develop players will also in turn combat my number 2 point, which is removing the complex progression system. That there would also help you be able to raise guys that are struggling to develop. And I think that's a big thing in franchise mode. You think you should be able to develop anyone you really want, barring age, to help with your freedom, your creative freedom, if you will, of franchise mode. Number 8 is less replays, the non-skippable kind. I fucking hate it. Like, anytime they do, like, oh, here's your quarterback, and we're going to show some highlights of your quarterback through the game, I do not give a fuck. And I usually just hit the start button until it lets me get through it. Get rid of that shit. Number 9 is kind of I'm not going to lie, I was starting to struggle a little bit to fill out this list. Is create a uniform alternate. I think that'd be kind of cool with the whole new color rush thing, how they have a new take on uniforms, maybe being able to make, like, for the Philadelphia Eagles, being able to make a Kelly green uniform would be kind of cool, but, I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, sponsorships and stuff like that, like, they might not be like, hey, no, we're Nike, we make these jerseys, do not change them and alter them in any way. And finally, number 10 is detailed Super Sim. When you do Super Sim, be able to maybe call plays or make adjustments on the fly without having to enter the game. I think if they made Super Sim a little bit more user-friendly, it could be somewhat beneficial. I mean, sometimes if I'm up, 35-3 in the third quarter, I'll just Super Sim the fourth quarter. I mean, I'm done, all right? I'm done with this ass whooping. Let the computer finish it. Maybe made it a little bit more detailed where I could just, automatically bang, bang, boom, make my auto subs, have my bench guys in, helping them develop a little bit. That might be a little cooler. I think the Super Sim could be improved a little bit for Madden 17. So those are my top 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with any of my points. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We want 15,000 subs by the time Madden 17 comes out. And that does it for me today, guys. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.